Hi, team. I'm Fitz Koehler, one of your hosts of the Run Show USA and one of your speakers. And today we are going to talk to one of my favorite speakers. I got to have a fireside chat with him in Chicago, and he will be returning to Boston. In fact, he is on our Run Show schedule all over the place. This is Gary Robbins, and he is one of the top Canadian ultra marathoners, and he's been so for over 15 years. He holds a standing record at the Hawaii Hurt 100. And this is probably the coolest, most interesting byline for this guy is there's a documentary about him called Where Dreams Go to Die. And yeah, super cool. Super cool. This is Gary Robbins. Hey, Gary.
Hey, thanks for having me, Fitz.
So the Where Dreams Go to Die guy.
Yeah, definitely became known as the that Barkley guy for many years there, just based on my experiences down there. And as you mentioned, there's a documentary that, if you don't know the story, it's all encompassed there in a 45-minute documentary, free on YouTube. And I know it has over 2 million views. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's gotten lots of traction over the years.
And so we talked about that in our fireside chat, which there was no fire, correct? Am I wrong?
No, you are correct. Yeah, thankfully no fire. No.
There was no fire at all. But yeah, you tried to do Barkley's 3 times and you came real darn close, and you did not finish. So it's a non-finish, which
I've actually, it was 6 years of my life for Barkley, 3 starts, three years that I was there and had varying levels of success. And then an injury year, 2019, had some stress fracture issues, and then 2 pandemics. And that's the start to finish Barkley experience for me. 6 years of my life invested in it.
Now, what has been the best part of not finishing Barkley Marathon?
It's a strange way to phrase it, Fitz, but I will say that I would trade everything that has happened for the finish that I got so close to on 2 occasions, my first and second attempt at the race. But it would be disingenuous to claim that there weren't some benefits that did find me through the, I consider it, unfortunate way that things unfolded. But primary amongst those was this documentary that my good friend Ethan Newberry filmed. And prior to us putting it on YouTube, we actually did a North American tour. We went to 17 cities in 3 weeks, and it was living the life of a rock star. It was truly crazy. Different city every day, basically trying to remember what city you were actually in. And we sold out every single theater that we went to, and that was anything from an average of about 400 seat theaters right up to the 800 seat Kane Theater in Seattle. And in my then hometown of North Vancouver, we still hold the record for the quickest ever sellout of the Centennial Theater, which is a near 600 seat theater. And I got a call from the director the next day because they thought their systems were broke, because in under 24 hours, we had sold out back-to-back nights.
So, Gary, is there any chance that would have happened had you finished?
Zero. I mean, honestly, if we wouldn't be talking right now, that's another thing that I have to identify, is that it did propel. I mean, I was a part of a viral moment in ultra running, which there are very few of those that have actually occurred.
Right.
And through that, it gave me an international exposure that just would never have happened otherwise. If I had finished in my first or second attempt, it would have been on my resume and I would have moved on to the next thing, and you would not know who I was, and I would not be talking with the Run Show right now.
So, brilliant story. I think it's a brilliant story of success. I don't know if you're a Garth Brooks fan, but he has one song, Unanswered Prayers, and you're Exhibit A.
Well, I don't know much about Garth Brooks, not a country fan myself, but definitely always, you have to find the silver lining. You have no choice. You can't change the past. So when something happens, you have to look forward and find a way to pull a silver lining from it. And I'm quite proud of what me and also Ethan Newberry were able to do and produce from that experience. And then again, I mean, that specific race, it's 5 years ago now, almost. It'll be 6 by the next edition of the Barkley next year. So it's not like it was just yesterday for me. It has been quite a few years. And I mean, my son turned 7 in August, and he was a baby at the time. So it feels a little bit like a lifetime ago, but it lives on in infamy on YouTube now.
I think it's incredible. I do want to say congratulations on never finishing the Barkley.
The closest anyone's gotten to finishing without finishing. So I guess I have that.
Wow, it seems to have worked out for you. So I want to ask a couple quick running questions. What do you do to keep your feet dry out on the trails?
I actually don't worry about keeping my feet dry out on the trails. To be
Mhm.
completely honest, I don't believe in Gore-Tex shoes because the moisture just ends up in the shoe.
Okay.
It doesn't kind of vent. So basically, I recommend just finding a really good pair of socks that you trust. And I've tried all socks over the years, all different brands and whatnot. But basically, the right sock and shoe combo and getting your feet wet is just par for the course if you're going to get into this in the longer stuff.
Okay. Okay. Now you have the perfect ultra beard, and I think it is required for your sport. Marathoners, not so much, but with the ultra community, you have a substantial beard. Is there some sort of beard management technique that you take with you on the go?
I do not. I have been very fortunate. All kinds of different beard brands have spotted me items, from balms to oils and stuff. And I've tried everything and it's just not me at all. And I am literally just a wash and comb and cut guy. So no product. It's basically just, I trim it down and I brush it down and that's it.
All natural.
Au naturel. That's right. Yeah.
So,
Not overcompensating for a lack of hair anywhere else by any stretch.
but that's the manly combo right there. The bald
Totally.
head and the big beard.
That's right.
You're like a guy.
Yeah.
Super guy. So, Gary, when you're out in the trails, how often do you stop and take it all in?
I love that question, Fitz. Because I'm 10 years past what was my best year at my highest caliber as a runner in 2013. You don't know it at the time, but looking back now, for sure, that was when I set most of my records. I still have a record that's over a decade old. And that was it. That was the year for me. And in that time of my life, I mean, I was all in and maybe not taking enough time to appreciate it as it was going. But certainly now when I'm out in the mountains and I'm out on a run, I never do a run without stopping for 5, even 10 minutes sometimes in the mountains to really appreciate it. And my wife gets a kick out of it. She knows that, like, I'm going to go for maybe a 75-minute run, but I'll be 90 minutes by the time I get back, because you work so hard to get out into these beautiful landscapes. Certainly where I live here in British Columbia, it's a shame not to sit down and really appreciate it while you're out there in the Alpine, seeing these beautiful mountains all around you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I travel a lot for race announcing, and I usually try to have some sort of diversion where I can go hiking. And I find sometimes I'm just stuck looking down so I don't trip. And you have to force yourself to stop moving and look up and absorb your surroundings. Nature's pretty spectacular, right?
It sure is, yeah. And again, not a single run or outing. I run, I bike, I paddle, whatever it is I'm doing, I ski, whatever it is I'm doing to get outside the mountains. I will not get through that workout or that adventure without taking the time to really appreciate my surroundings throughout.
Role modeling. Okay, so do you fancy yourself, if you have to choose one, you can't choose none, a better singer or a better dancer?
Oh, it's not even close. I can dance. I cannot sing. There's
Okay.
not even close. Yeah, I have not been gifted with anything. I consider singing a superpower. I have a good friend who's a successful musician, and yeah, it's just incredible what a proper voice can do. But I think you can teach almost anybody to dance, but you can't teach almost anybody to sing.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And this is the sad part on my account is at a finish line after so many hours, I start singing into the microphone, and it's horrible for everybody because I'm a terrible singer, Gary. I could talk my face off, but the second I put a tune to it, it's a bad time. But I'm unapologetic. It's what
There
you
you
get,
go.
and
Absolutely.
I'm not charging extra for that. So we'll just call it a bonus. All right, Gary, the dancer. So now what I want you to do is, using your best dance moves, whatever they are, get funky and tell people to come see you at the Run Show Boston.
Well, I got a cable on me here, so I don't know how much I can actually move without ripping that out. But I guess I can move my shoulders while I'm on camera here, right? So
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
definitely. Run Show is awesome. I've had the pleasure to attend one. I'm looking forward to attending all of the rest of them in 2023, and I hope to see you in Boston, Massachusetts. I hope I got that right as a Canadian. It is Massachusetts, right?
See you all soon, guys. It's Boston, February 4th and 5th. Gary Robbins will be there, and we'll see you soon. Bye, team.